bit low on the volume, Steve, but other than that, good to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I could crank it up a little.
Yeah, compared to your voice, it's quite low. So, yep, doing some adjustments on mine as well. NT0Y.
Hey, 3 there, DQQ. You guys have a good evening. KB8 DQQ is clear.
73, Bob. NT0Y.
RQS testing. How was that, Jay?
Still very low.
Okay, I'll raise her up a little bit. That was a tiny bit on MMSSTV output.
Yeah, that's sounding a little bit better. To the point where the software is actually picking up the picture coming in. And obviously I adjust my volume up and down coming in here too, so. Yep, I think that should at least do the trick.
Very good. Well, looking forward to about 6 minutes from now, so I'll stand by for the slow scan TV net.
Also standing by NT0Y.
This is the WHBCI repeater PL 100 Hertz.
Evening, everyone. It's 8 o'clock Sunday evening and time for Carl's Central Michigan Slow Scan TV Net. This net is held each Sunday evening at 8 p.m. for the purpose of sharing information, training in the digital and analog modes, and preparation to serve our community in time of need. This is Rick, KC8LOQ, and I will be your net control operator for this evening. All amateurs are welcome to join in, and we ask that all comments and questions be directed to net control. If you're just jetting across town or short time, please let me know. And again, this is a slow scan TV net, and we exchange pictures over the air using radio. So with that, I'll accept all check-ins. Please call net control now.
Delta 8, Papa Victor Sierra. Go on.
There was a double there. I got Whiskey Delta 8, PBS, and the other station. Okay, there was another station. I didn't quite get your call. I've got WD8 PBS, Charles on the list. Any further check-ins, please call net control now.
Is this? Tango 0 Yankee J in Lansing.
Yes. 8 Romeo, Quebec Sierra. And I did hear another double. Right, I've got WD8DS NT0Y, W8RQS, and so far that's all I have on the list of this other station there. I think there was a double. Please call.
Connected.
Hi, KF8 APM Jason, KF8 DQS Michael, got you on the list. Any further check-ins to tonight's Slow Scan TV Net, please call now.
Late Juliet Uniform, K8JJU, Joe and Onondaga, I'll be in and out tonight.
JJU, Joe, thanks for stopping by, and Merry Christmas to you. Any further check-ins, please call net control now. Right, we got a good list tonight. WD8PVS, NT0Y, W8RQS, KF8APM, KF8DQS. Any further? Well, we had two in and out, KF8CHS Rob and K8JJU Joe. So if I missed anybody or there are further check-ins, please call now. Right, well, we got a good list to work with here tonight. Boy, I tell you, those Lions are something else. The game lasted pretty close to 8 o'clock. Wasn't sure if I was going to have to interrupt it or not. They weren't able to win there, but it sure was a close game. Came right down to the last few seconds. Man, oh man. So this is weird weather, I tell you. And the above freezing doesn't look like we're going to have a white Christmas at all either. My wife and I, finally, I think we got the Christmas tree decorated. We got as much stuff as we could put on it, and we decided to, hey, this is enough. We'll just call it quits for this year. Getting ready to have the family over. We're not going to do a big dinner this time. I think we're just going to do some hors d'oeuvres and have everybody bring something. So play some games and do something like that. But boy, let's see what else is going on. Not too much, you know. just doing projects around the house. Finally, I got my 12 Days of Christmas from QRZ, so I'm happy about that. I think that's the first one I've ever got, and so got that checked off on the list. Other than that, not too much. Let's find out what you guys are up to. WD8PBS. Charles, how you been, and what's new with you?
W8BBI repeater.
PVS here. Just busy, you know how it is with the holidays coming up. My little tuba group played yesterday at Great Lakes Christian home, and this morning we played over at the Delta Retirement Center, and just been finishing up projects around the house and just a bunch of odd and end stuff going on. Just getting ready for Christmas. Trees are all up, decorations all up, and doing a little menu planning for a family get-together. Christmas Eve, my son and daughter and their families are coming over, and then on the 3rd, the Colton side of the family, my sister and all my cousins, not cousins, but nephews and nieces, they're going to come over to the house. So, other than that, back to you, Rick, WJPVS.
That sounds busy enough. You know, I tell you, I can't believe it's this close to Christmas. It just seems like the time is flying by, and you know, so much to do, so much going on. It definitely seems busy. So, what have you guys got any concerts for the DeWitt band coming up?
We're done until January. We'll start back up in January, and I haven't seen the schedule yet for the future, so I'm not really sure. Other than in about mid-February, we're playing at the Red Cedar Festival for community bands, but other than that, I don't have any dates yet.
Okay, good. That's cool, man. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any, and I wanted to say I enjoyed that Polar Express stuff. My wife and I watched the movie last night, as a matter of fact, and it still holds up. You know, that's a great movie. It's one of my favorites. So, well, thanks for checking in tonight, Charles. Good to have you. NT0YJ, how you been, and what have you been up to?
KC8LOQ in the group, NT0Y. Good to hear everybody tonight. It's been a little bit of a crazy week, even though it wound down in some ways, it wound back up in others. That's kind of the way it goes. I should have known better. Did a bunch of driving around for work, got a bunch of shopping out of the way, you know, still with all 3 kids in the house. There's a bunch of preparation to do for all that. I think we finally got to the point where we've got most things done. We just got to do, you know, a tiny bit of like grocery shopping before Thursday, and then we'll be all set. And other than that, just been messing around with the 12 Days of Christmas event. I got all but one station, and he is elusive. I'm not sure. Usually what happens is he gets on 20 meters for, you know, 45 minutes or something, and he's too close. I think he's coming in from, like, Pennsylvania or something like that, so can't usually get him on 20, and he disappears. So I'm playing the game. He's messing with me. I'll get him eventually. Even got the bonus station in Puerto Rico today. That one was easier. But hey, that's part of the fun, right? If you can just get them all and not have to think about it, then wouldn't be much of a I won't call it contest. It certainly isn't, but it's an event. It's fun to try and collect them all and chase after them. And to do that, I did a little bit of remote operation from work this week because most of them were coming in during the afternoon before I got home from work. So I've loaded up a bunch of software a bunch of free software that allows me to do sideband voice through my microphone in the webcam of my work computer, and it works surprisingly well, surprising to me. So that's about it. More to come. NT0Y back to net.
That's really cool, Jay. You know, try some FT8 overseas. They seem to count. I got a couple in, I think, Finland and where else? Somewhere overseas. And they seem to count towards my 12 Days of Christmas, which is weird, but I'll take it. And have you guys managed to have any, I remember you said you were going to lock the doors and hunker down. Have you guys managed to have any quiet time here?
No, not really. No, we really haven't. This will be in the last weekend before the holiday. We want to make sure that we don't have to do too much leading up to it. We are trying to relax a little bit more, so we wanted to get as much of it out of the way as possible. And we're doing that on the front end of our little break here. The back end will be far more relaxed, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah, and the 12 Days of Christmas I'm referring to is the 12 stations plus the 13th bonus station that represent the different parts of that song. So like Whiskey 2 Papa is Partridge in a Pear Tree, or Kilo 2 Papa is 11 Pipers Piping. That's the 12 Days of Christmas. I think you were talking about the QRZ one, which I think I did get that too, but I think I got it by way of doing other things.
Oh, I got you, Jay. Yeah, it was the QRZ one. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool setup there. There was I find the best receptions early in the day. When it gets to where the gray line is coming close to Lansing here, things seem to kind of act like a wall for an hour or so, and then suddenly the signals seem to break through. It's a very peculiar effect, along that gray line. But anyway, that's the bizarreness of radio. Excuse me. Thanks for checking in tonight, Jay. It's good to hear you, as always. Steve, W8RQS, how you been, and what's new with you?
Well, good evening, Rick, and all my fellow hams. Well, what's new? Let's see. I've got a signal, or not a signal link. I got my interface plugged in here, and I believe I'm ready to go, so that's new. And I'm kind of an outdoor person, so I spent the 2 warm days doing things outside, and the very, very cold days I stayed inside, so that's about it here. Been playing with the Optiplex 77, and it's up and running, and got a few more things to install on it, but I'm making progress. W8RQL, W8RQS, back to net control.
Steve, I'm kind of like you. I like it outdoors, even in the winter. I don't mind sitting out on the porch and just enjoying the crisp air, as long as it's not too. It's probably when it starts getting below 0 wind chill, then I kind of back off a little bit. So what's this? What's the Optiplex 77?
Still at MSU surplus, and I kind of took a chance on it because it was for parts. So you never know, but it's got a 6-core processor, uses DDR4 memory, and I'm having a ball with it. But there's a lot of kind of weird things that I try to hook up to it. So I'm making progress. That's all. It seems to be a very nice computer Matter of fact, I think it's the fastest thing I own. Back to net, W8RQS.
W8BCI repeater.
6 cores. Man, and I thought quad was fancy. I remember when they first came out with dual core processors. I'm trying to think of the Intel model. Is it the P3? I can't remember now. That's the trouble. Your mind goes, Steve. Well, that's awesome, man. It sounds like a really cool little system. I could see where it would intrigue and take some cool project time. Yeah, those kind of things for me. I get involved and half the day's gone, and I don't even realize where it went. So, well, good to have you in tonight, Steve. Let's see, next on the list, KF8 APM, Jason. Hey, what's new out with you there? How the kids and family, and anything going on?
It's KF8 APM. Yeah, it's good hearing all you guys. Yeah, I've been, we actually did some snowmobiling yesterday. We decided to pack up, go north for the day. We just ran north, just north of Grayling, found some snow, rode around for the day, and loaded up and came home. So it was fun. We had a good time. Kids had a blast. So other than that, I've been playing radio a little bit here and there, and it was kind of interesting this week. It was a Friday night, I guess it was. I got a phone call from a guy over in Livingston area. I got a radiogram from somebody in Wisconsin who contacted him through the radio or something, through CW, and then he called me, and I remember getting one of these a while back, and I just thought it was interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten any of those, and I was curious how it works. I chatted with him for quite a while, and it was kind of interesting just because he's not too far away. And I actually mentioned this and that too and talked about it. But so I'm just curious if you guys have ever had any of those radiograms or ever sent any or done anything with that. But other than that, we did talk to Santa. The boys talked to Santa on Thursday night, I think it was. They do a 80-meter net on CQ Santa. You can go to CQSanta.com, and you can actually call in and talk to Santa. So the boys got to do that and tell them what they want for Christmas. So that was pretty exciting and kind of fun, a little radio fun. So, yeah, that's kind of been the week. We're just getting ready for Christmas here, and hopefully, it's not going to snow, but there'll be snow up north. We'll go north, I guess, if we need to. So, but other than that, look forward to the net tonight. So, KF8 APM, back to you.
Good to have you tonight, Jason. You know, you can always take a cooler up there, stash it full of snow, and bring it back home with you, because it doesn't look like we're going to have very much through here. So, and yeah, the radiograms, I played with those for a while. There's a couple ways you can get into the system. One is on the APRS network software. You can format one. The other is through WinLink. I think you can send one through. And you format it out and so-called inject it into the system, and it'll get routed. So they're pretty cool. They're old school. And I remember years and years ago, I got one from somebody, and mostly nowadays they're just typed up, and you don't get that like a postcard form anymore. I got mine in kind of a letter envelope mailed to me, but a lot of them are electronic. And I'm glad you got the Santa too. I think for anyone that's interested, it's on 3.916 megahertz, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, and check-ins are 15 minutes before the net starts. So the problem with the 80 is it's so noisy occasionally. Did you Did you have good reception, Jason?
You know, I generally do on 80, and there was one of the guys that was relaying. He was in New York, and he sounded like you do right now. He sounded like he was right next door. And when it came time for us, they switched it to somebody else. I'm guessing was closer, and I was struggling to hear him. He was a little scratchy, but we made the contact, and that was all right. But yeah, some of them come through just great. Other ones are a little noisy.
The one I got into, there was a station right on 915, 3.915, right close to 3.916, and I couldn't hear a thing. It was just splattering all over that, but I'll check again here in the night. It's going to be every night right now, right up to the 23rd, I think is the last day of it, so you got a couple days left to check in with Santa. So good to have you with us tonight, Jason. Hopefully we'll see some cool pictures from you. KFA DQS, Michael, how you been and what's new with you?
KFA DQS here. I haven't been up to too much lately, but I have been peer pressured by Jay and a couple other people in the MSU Discord to sign up for CW Academy by the CW Ops. So I'll be learning Morse code in January, February in that class. So that'll be fun. And I've also installed another firmware on my Quanchang. The previous one I had CW, and the new one does too, but it also has some SSTD stuff to screw around with, so I'm going to be testing that tonight. Back to net.
Good to have you with us tonight. And Michael, I wish I knew CW better. I got into a course by Roel Anders, and he runs a lot of classes in the amateur radio community for tech, general, and extra. They're online with Zoom. And he actually has a short class just before those classes on CW and does a really nice job in teaching that. So if you, how long have you been at CW?
I've been slowly chipping away at it. There was a playlist by someone, I can't remember the call sign or name, but they slowly introduced characters on a YouTube playlist, and they stressed not to really look too much at the video, but what they did do is they would go through different paddles and stray keys so that people that either knew what they were doing or just wanted something to look at could just look at the pretty paddles. And then after that, I installed Morse Mania, and that gave me a decent bit of progress that gamified things on an app on my phone. So I've got the basic alphabet and numbers and some symbols down okay, but my instant character recognition just really isn't there.
I know, Michael. I started Morse back in about 1976, back when they had the novice class, and I never did finish it. Kind of life got in the way. And the method that I found personally the best for me to learn was to they send it like 12 or 14 characters per second, but there's a long pause between the letters. And another method is where you send at 5 or less words per minute, and you just go slow with the pause between the letters, and you go slow with the code. But I found, at least for me, that it helped me develop the rhythm and the pattern when the letters were sent fast, but yet you had a long time between the letters to let it absorb. So maybe experiment with that and see which one works best for you. So good to have you with us tonight, Michael. And that puts us at the end of the list. Let's see if we have anyone else that would like to join Carl's Slow Scan TV net. We send pictures back and forth here on the radio. This is Rick, KC8LOQ, Net Control. Please call now.
WHBCI repeater.
Right, nothing heard. We got a good list. Maybe we'll pick some people up here on the way. All right, let's get here. Let's get going with what we all came here for. WD8 PVS. Charles, you're at the top of the list. How about a picture?
WD8 PVS. Okay, I'm going to do this Scotty 2 and 3 repeater drops.
That came through perfectly, Charles. I guess the repeaters hopefully will hold up for us tonight. I'm curious about those red streaks on the side. Is that actually the wood grain?
It's bolting. It's box elder. And if you look real close, I'm not sure you can see it, but you'll see these little dots inside the bowl. Those are little wormholes, and those are caused by the larva of the box elder bug. You know, those red bugs we see from time to time, and the staining of the wood is actually from those bugs that get into the box elder trees. So yeah, that's all natural, and it's box elder wood. It's about I think it's about finished was about 9.5 inches in diameter, and about 2 3/4 inches high. So that was my latest project, and it's just got an oil finish with some beeswax.
That is a beauty, a real beauty, Charles. NT0Y, Jay, a comment.
NT0Y. Yep, 100% I agree. I love the red streak in the side of the bowl there, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a lighter finish than you usually use. And I like the lighter finish in this application with the red streaks through it. I think it's striking.
That is an awesome piece. W8RQS, Steve, the comment.
Charles, I always like your woodworking stuff, and the picture I'm going to send tonight is going to be for you. W8RQS, back to the net.
Right. Hey, now you got us all anticipating here, Steve. KF8 APM, Jason, your turn for a comment.
It's KF8 APM. You know, when that came through, it was a great picture, by the way. When that came through, I saw the red on it, and I immediately was, because I've seen that before, and I was like, that looks just like the stuff I've done before. And it was box elder, and then I was like, well, maybe it's something else, because why would he make something out of box elder? And then you said that, and I was like, it's perfect. It's great. I made a, I was cutting up wood, and neighbor had a whole bunch of box elder trees that we cut down, and I was cutting it up to burn it, and I found some that had that red in it, and I thought, that looked really neat as a handle. And so I ended up making a handle for like a fire steel, and nothing fantastic, but it has those red streaks in it too, and I thought it was just kind of neat looking, and I really liked it. I mean, nobody'd probably ever buy anything like that, but it was something I made, right? So, but I saw that red, and I thought that must be box elder, and that turned out nice. Though I like the streaks in it. I think it's pretty. It gives it a real neat character. I do like it. So, not highly sought after, but I like it. Anyways, nice job with that. KFA at 8 p.m. Back to net.
Like it too, I tell you, Jason. That is, I never knew that the wood looks like that on the inside from those box elder bugs. Man, oh man. Oh, KFA, DQS. Michael, your turn for a comment.
KFA, DQS, your picture came through wonderfully. Beautiful bowl. How long did this take to make? Because this looks quite nice.
Charles, you can go direct.
A little over 4 hours I have into it.
The smoothness of it looks pretty clear on the SSTV picture, so nice work.
Charles has a tremendous library of, or actually we all do, of his work, and it's just amazing. Every time you come on, Charles, you have these jaw-dropping pieces here, man. I tell you, it'd be interesting to see all the stuff that you made in like one room. It would be overwhelming. Wonderful piece of art. Okay, that puts us at NT0Y. Jay, it's your turn for an image.
NT0Y. Well, the streak of things coming in the mail continues. PD120.
BCI repeater.
You really have some wild locations. This is phenomenal. The Wallace and Fortuna Islands. I had to look that up, by the way, from this call. It looks like this little bird is down near Fiji. And, man, oh man, I'm trying to see. I wonder if it's even inhabited. I gather these guys did a de-expedition on this. Tell us about this and when you got it.
Yeah, so the island is inhabited. It's certainly not big. If it's in the picture, but I'm sure it didn't come through big enough to read. It says the Wallace and Fortuna Islands have a capital city of Mata Utu, and that's the largest city, and it had a population of 11,151 in July of 23. And the land mass says 54.99 square miles, so certainly not big, but as far as the square area of the world, certainly a postage stamp or less. So yeah, this is a group, I've been getting a lot of Russian de-expedition cards, and this one comes out of a group from the U.S., and actually one of them I made quite a few contacts with before this, who is K6 VHF. I see him on the, even though VHF is in his call, I see him a lot on the HF bands. And there is a YL in their group too, so it looks to me like, let's see, 5 old men and a YL. It takes a special person. And yeah, it's pretty neat. I thought I remembered that they also, it was one of those territories that had some kind of affiliation, or at some point was a colony of like a European country. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back into it. But yeah, they were really hard for me to get. I only managed to get them on 15 meters, and it was a slog to get it. But I'm happy that the card came in the mail.
Oh man, that is so cool, Jay. That is a remarkable find. Do you happen to know offhand who is that island owned by another country, or are they independent or anything?
So I wasn't sure off the top of my head, but since you were asking the question, it gave me time to do some chitter chatter on the keyboard here. It says it is a French island collectivity in the South Pacific. So I am going to say France, and I'm really not sure how associated with the French they are anymore. I'd have to do some more reading, but the official language of the couple of islands there is French.
Hey, that probably, yeah, I would imagine they do have the French flag there, I would guess, too. I'd have to do more research in it, too, Jay. I'm just guessing. But, oh, man, that is a really, really cool QSL card. Boy, I tell you. WD8 PVS Charles, your turn for a comment.
Came across really good, and boy, I'm impressed with that. That's definitely a rarity, and boy, that's a good contact. So great for you.
I don't even think that's on my DX list or anything. That is wild and crazy contact. W8RQS, Steve, your turn for a comment.
All I can say is, wow, Jay, you got the best collection of QSL cards of anyone I know. So keep on getting them. I love seeing them. W8RQS, back to net.
I mean, it's not as I don't know if people collect those as much as they used to 30 years or more ago. Back in the early days, and I think they are really important and cool to have myself. I wish I could get more of them. I got to get going and get my own QSL card organized. I tell you, one of these days. Another thing on the list. KFA at 8 p.m. Jason, your turn for a comment.
KFA at 8 p.m. Oh, the image came through great. Sounded great, Jay. Looks good. You always find something new that I've never seen or heard of, and you always seem to send that and it pops up, and somehow you get these things done. This is good. It's cool. It's cool. I have no idea where this is at, and now I'm intrigued by it. So I will look it up again. Nice job with that. KFA at 8 p.m. Back to net.
Boy, that'd be worth framing on the wall. I'd have that right in front of my shack, or on the wall. Boy, oh boy. KFA, DQS. Michael, your turn for a comment.
KFA, DQS here. The picture came in pretty darn good. It's real interesting to look at. Unfortunately, the text is just a little bit on the small side to reliably read, but otherwise pretty clear. I see that it says de-expedition here. What is a de-expedition? Could I just get a quick little explanation of?
Jay, you two can go direct.
Thanks, Rick. NT0Y. Well, in short, a de-expedition is a group of people that come from a far more populated and we'll say far more ham-dense area, and they set up trips to lesser-known locations that are extremely hard to activate. Some of these locations that they go to might not have a single ham on it, but yet they have a prefix set up with the ITU, and the ARU, and they can go down there and activate that in cahoots with the local government, and it's sort of a service to hams and getting new and exciting places in the log. And for the people that go down there, it is like a ham dream vacation, although some of these locations can be a little bit hostile. This does not look like one of them. I've read about de-expeditions where they're basically just on a, what amounts to a desert tropical island. It's just nothing but a sandbar, but for some reason it has a prefix and it's never been activated. And so these brave hams go where no ham has gone before and let the world collect them in the log.
Michael?
Okay, wasn't sure if I was allowed to get back in. Okay, cool. I'll leave it back to net. Thanks for the explanation.
That's as good as I could get there, Michael, and sometimes that's the only way you can contact one of these small areas is by a bunch of hams going down there and setting up their radios and transmitting off that. And if anytime I say you guys can go direct, that means you two can carry on a conversation, and then when you're done, you can turn it back to net control, which is me. So that pretty much sums it up. So thanks to these guys, a lot of these small little obscure out of the way places can wind up in your log. There's only two, I think I heard, places where there is an exception. And I know one is North Korea, where they don't allow any hams at all, and there was another one, and I can't remember what that is. So I kind of doubt a de-expedition would be profitable in North Korea. I would not want to be one to go in there. So we'll leave it at that. Some of the older guys I know have QSL cards from North Korea, but you got to go pretty far back, pre-World War II, I think, to probably find anybody with them. And I think there are exceptions for ambassadors or something if you get permission from the government, but it's tricky. So anyway, there you have it. Let's see. We have W8RQS next. Your turn for an image, Steve.
W8BCI repeater.
This came through perfect. A couple of the ingredients. One, I can't read what comes after the 1 cup shredded cheddar cheese, and then I think cut off at the bottom, right after the add butter something. This is an intriguing recipe.
Hey, Rick, did you see the rolling pin?
Who?
Rolling pin is for Charles. That was turned on a lathe, and we got it at an Amish cheese shop. So what this thing is, it's a recipe holder made in the form of a small rolling pin. It's about 6.5 inches long and 1.5 inches high, and has a slit in the top of it. So when I was taking this picture, my wife said the same thing. Why are you putting that recipe up there? And I just said it so I could illustrate that this is a recipe holder made from a rolling pin. And Charles will probably know about it or seen it or anything. He's up on that stuff, but it's just a straight, basically just a straight cut on the lathe. But I believe the bottom of it is flat, and I put some double-sided tape and like a tape magnet on the bottom of it, and this sets on the range hood. W8RQS, back to the net.
beautiful. I apologize, Steve. I got so engrossed in this green tomato casserole that I overlooked actually what the picture was about. That's a beautiful setup and a nice rolling pin too. Man, oh man! And I'm still curious about that recipe. One of these days we'll have to have you print that out maybe in a printer and or type it out and send it all to us. But for now, we'll have the rolling pin take center stage because that's a real novel way to display a recipe. And it looks like just the what is it? The 4x6 recipe cards or index cards, or are they 3x4? No, they're 4. Oh, geez, I can't remember. But that sure is one of those old index cards. I know my mom used to have all her recipes on that. Really nice. WDA PBS. Charles, a comment.
But I have not seen one. I've made rolling pins, but I've never seen this idea before. It's great. I'm going to have to try my hand at that. But whoever did the turning on did a great job with the wood that the way they set it up and glued together to get the stripe the way it ran on that. But boy, I appreciate that. I really like it, and I've never seen anything like that before. I'm going to have to try to make one.
Charles, I expect we're going to see some pictures of that here before too long. NT0Y, Jay, a comment.
NT0Y returning. Yeah, I love the rolling pin idea as a recipe holder for those that still have their recipes on index cards like that. That is awesome. And of course, I guess you can make a bigger version if you keep them on, 8.5 by 11s or whatever else the case is. That's really neat. Now, the tech nerd in me cannot help but notice that he put his call sign in front of the rolling pin, but it has perspective, like he skewed it so that it would look like it's down on the surface of, I don't know what that is, a range hood or something like that. Is that a function of MMSS TV, or did you go in and use a full-featured editing program for that?
Steve?
That is a function of MMSS TV. When you do the template, which is what it is, there's a thing in there, a little box called perspective, and I just checked that box. It does have a little shadow in white, but I didn't play around with it too much. I just used that perspective. A couple people commented that it's like Lost in Space or something like that, and it does add a little bit. So yeah, it's right in the program that you do the template. So I just do my own templates. W8RQS, back to net.
Any further comments?
Okay, yeah, I did not know that. I don't use MMSS TV being on Linux. I use QSS TV, and that's really not something that's in there. As a matter of fact, QSS TV has been abandoned in development, much like MMSS TV, for quite some time, and the template editor is mostly just broken. But Linux is a fast-moving beast, and I'm not surprised at that. And then, meanwhile, you can run, DOS programs from 1980 whatever on Windows, and they run the same as they did back then. So I'm not incredibly surprised, but I will have to take a look at that. Very interesting, and very useful. And also, Steve, I have my eyeball on that recipe. I hope that's one you didn't want to give away. I can read it. And T0Y, back to that.
WHBCI repeater.
Jay, my wife will be happy to give it to you. The very bottom of it is cut off because it's in that little groove that holds the recipe card. W8RQS back to net.
Since there's going to be a potluck at Jay's place before too long. Man, oh man. And, you know, I'm surprised, Jay, that somebody hasn't come out with a real whiz-bang SSTV program. The only other one I know of, and I have used it, is Ham Radio Deluxe. And I've got an older version that you don't have to pay for, but the newer one is a little expensive, and I have not used that one. But it seems like there ought to be a very simple one that is supported. Well, you know, we can only hope. I hope it's the protocol's not going to die out anytime soon, but I imagine we'll know when it does. All right, KF8 APM. Jason, your turn for a comment.
KF8 APM. Yeah, the image was fantastic. Came through great. Looks really nice, and yeah, I was stuck on the recipe myself, and then I just happened to see the rolling pin. It is cool looking. Yeah, and Charles, I'm sure you can probably make it, and it'll probably look fantastic. I expect to see one soon. Not necessarily next week, but at some point, I want to see something. I'm sure it'll turn out great. KF8 APM, back to net.
We're going to have Charles make us all one for Christmas. No pressure, Charles. KF8 DQS. Michael, your turn for a comment.
KF8 DQS here. Pretty neat idea using the rolling pin. Is the top of the fume hood not angled down so it doesn't roll off, or are you taping it in place or something? How is this not falling over?
You can go direct.
Michael, I believe it's flat on the bottom. It almost would have to be. That's why I put the double-sided tape on it and stuck it on there's a magnet underneath the double-sided tape, one of those strip magnets. So that's what's holding it onto the range hood. But these are actually made to set anywhere, you know, on the countertop or anywhere. So they do have like a flat bottom on them. And for Charles, those the ends of it are also turned, and I believe this was done by the Amish. So on the very end, they just drilled a hole straight through it and put the handles on with like a wood screw. So but it's pretty cool. When my wife saw it, she wanted it. So it's on her range hood now. And the recipe, I guess I'll take a picture of the recipe and send it to you guys. She got a whole box full of recipes. W8RQS, back to Michael.
Okay, flat, got it. That's an interesting idea to have. No more comments other than just, it's a little hard to read through SSTV. It's almost easier if I zoom out so that I can just like focus the pixels better, or I'm not sure how, but back to net, KF8 DQS.
That is an intriguing recipe. A green tomato casserole. That's got to be out of the 50s. Wow. I am intrigued, definitely. All right. Well, KF8 APM, Jason, it's your turn for an image.
All right, KF8 APM. We'll slow that down a little bit there. A little tongue-tied. We're going to do Scotty 2 on this one. And this was from yesterday, I guess it was. Days are all mixed up here. It's from yesterday up north. So, Scotty 2 and the repeater drops.
image came through perfect, Jason. Boy, that looks like you guys are having a riot there. Is your wife taking the picture, and is she in that other snowmobile?
Well, I'm glad the image came through because actually I did firmware update this week on the radio, and I had to reset all of my settings, and apparently I got them all back to where it needed to be. So that was the first thing. Second, I'm taking this picture, and that's actually that my wife's there on the left, and then it's Matt and then Jack in there. So yeah.
Are there specific trails that you guys go on up here?
Yeah, there's trails up there. A lot of it's just like 2 tracks and stuff that we were on locally around there, just so we didn't actually see another snowmobile the entire time we were out there all day. It was just us, and my nephews were up there too, so we had a good time.
Is great. There's a lot of snow up there. Man, oh man. WDA PVS, Charles, a comment.
It's great. And, your family, I give you guys so much credit. It's unbelievable how well you guys work together and play together. And it's nice seeing the boys not glued to a cell phone or a computer, but outside. So I really appreciate seeing that. Great job.
It's a good observation, Charles, and I agree. I've noticed that myself, Jason. It's you guys got a healthy family there, definitely. NT0YJ, a comment.
NT0Y, yeah, looks like a great time out in the snow. Picture came through great, not a speckle in it. And yeah, it reminds me of growing up in northern Michigan up by Sheboygan. We had a few sleds up there. At times it was almost a necessity, although a good four-wheel drive truck would have been just fine too. But sometimes it was nice to just drag the sled out and go pick up a few things if you needed to, or just go for a ride. And it's been quite a few years. I think this winter is sort of bucking that trend where since there was enough snow to really, own snowmobiles for that matter. But, it got to the point down here where you had to go all the way up to the UP to find it. And then the UP started kind of drying up a little bit. Then you had to go up into Canada, and I'm glad to see it, at least for this year, coming back down, and at least you don't have to go too far to find it. Before the last couple days, you probably would have been able to do it down here. So, yeah, I love it. Reminds me of growing up. NT0Y. Back to that.
WHBCI repeater.
The weather sure has been crazy here. Man, oh man. And today's the first day of winter, so if it's any consolation, the days are going to start getting longer. So there you go. W8RQS, Steve, your turn for a comment.
Excellent picture. I used to run a snowmobile when I was, in my teens. It was an old thing called a rump snowmobile. But hey, I was up at Elma today, and on the way back, a pickup truck passed me with a snowmobile in the back of the truck, and I thought, man, that guy's going in the wrong direction. Then I thought, no, he went up north for the weekend. He's coming back home. So, love snowmobiles, but I'm a little old to flip one of those things anymore. W8RQS, back to net.
It's been a while since I've been on one, definitely. Those and Sea-Doos are just a riot to play with. Man, oh man. Michael, KFA DQS, your turn for a comment.
KFA DQS here. Great picture. Came through pretty good. looks real fun. Make sure you get that use in while the weather allows for it. I mean, it kind of got a bit melty around here recently, but man, those things can be a bit expensive, so gotta use it and make sure you enjoy them. KF8 DQS back to net.
You got that right. Well, we're at the end of the list. Let's just make a quick check to see if anybody has joined us late to tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. This is Rick, KC8LOQ. Please call now.
Well, Bravo 8, Hotel Kilo.
The familiar call. Stand by. We'll see if anybody else would like to check into tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. Please call now. All right, nothing heard. Dave, it's good to hear you finally. Haven't heard you in a while. What's new with you?
Much new. Just trying to wrap up Christmas and trying to figure out what the weather's going to do. So I think we're supposed to get 50s on Christmas. So that's, I'm not going to complain. For those that want the white Christmas, I understand, but I'm not going to complain about the weather. So that's really not much going on. So back to net. This is AV8HK.
David, do you have an image you'd like to send? Go ahead.
We're going to do Scotty 2, or Peter Grobbins, AV8HK.
That image came through perfect, David. And Michael, KF8, DQS, I apologize. I just missed you right there. You were the one to set up next. I can't read my chicken scratches here. So you're on deck as soon as we walk through the comments there, Michael. Well, David, this looks like a part of an airplane, and it's something that I would expect to see like on a carnival ride, maybe. But something tells me maybe that's not it. What are we looking at here?
Definitely see why you would think that, because it does kind of look carnivalish. This is an old Link trainer. This is what they used to use a long time ago for instrument training. It's kind of like a flight simulator. It's basically an antique. But this was at the Willow Run Airport Museum. And I thought it'd be a great picture for slow scan, just because it's very unique and very primitive. But from what I heard, it was an excellent trainer for its time. Back to that. This is AB8HK.
The elevators and rudder are I guess, just a decorative option. They sure look funny. That is crazy. Charles, WD8 PVS, comment.
It was immediately because I got to fly, I guess you call it fly one of those, when I was in taking flight school. They had one. It might have been that one because it was at Willow Run where I got to drive it at. But yeah, very primitive today's standards, but it was still a lot of fun.
That is a remarkable item there, definitely. NT0YJ, a comment.
Yeah, NT0Y. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I've been in something like that, although I don't believe it would have been of the same caliber as this one. But that's pretty neat to build it at. Look at it, kind of how it's laid out for the time. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, image came through okay, but just a little bit of I don't know, just a little bit of static or fuzz on top, but it's perfectly copyable. NT0Y, back to net.
That is remarkable. I assume it shifts around and tilts and does all kinds of stuff to simulate flight. That is wild. W8RQS, Steve, a comment.
W8BCI repeater.
W8RQS. Well, I was kind of guessing that it was a primitive flight trainer, but it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it really has any instruments inside of it. So interesting. I was looking at the base very curiously too, as if it were, moving up and down in 4-dimensional or whatever. So yeah, I bet it would have been fun to be in it. Just pretend you're flying. Back to net.
David, is this thing on a centrifuge, or does it spin or move around, or what?
I wouldn't really say spin, but it tilts and it pitches up and down, and you're actually looking at it from the side. There are quite a few instruments in it, and what you're looking at is the open door, and you would get in and close the door and then close the canopy on top of it. So you would, I don't know if you'd really be in the dark, but you're not going to see outside anything. And all the instruments are actually to the left inside of the door. There's quite a few for the time frame. Back to net. This is AB8HK.
Hey, I get it. Oh man, that I don't know if I'd probably get claustrophobic in there. Jason, KF8. Wait a minute. Let's see. I lost my place here. Yeah, here we go. KF8, 8 p.m. Jason, your turn for a comment.
KF8, 8 p.m. Yeah, image actually came through great. I was struggling to figure out what it was, short of some kind of an airplane. I could tell from the elevator and the rudder on the back there. I was thinking it was some kind of like a model airplane fuselage or something. But thankfully you guys listen to everybody talk about how it's laid out. It makes a little more sense now. It seems a little small to be getting in, but I guess it probably was functional for the time and worked. That's why they had it. So, thanks for sharing. Neat image. KFA at 8 p.m. Back to net.
Boy, and in time the time it was built, I'm sure it was pretty high tech too. KFA DQS, Michael, a comment.
KFA DQS here. Unfortunately, I can't comment on it. I couldn't copy it. I unplugged my 2.5 millimeter adapter from my radio because I wasn't expecting someone. And then when it started transmitting, I just figured I could acoustically couple it. But I think I couldn't get the skew right or whatever. It wouldn't. The app I'm using is Robot 36, and it does it automatically, but it couldn't get a lock on it. So I just had like magenta, like diagonal lines that were pretty much horizontal, and it kind of just looked like a skewed, or not a skewed, a compressed flag that kept repeating. So I couldn't get anything. KFA DQS back to net.
The audio was a little weak, Michael, so that may have been an issue, making it hard for you to decipher there. But any rate, it's your turn. And again, I apologize for getting you out of order. KFA DQS, Michael, your turn for an image.
Okay, this will be Scotty 1 when the repeater drops. I'm going to try the firmware I installed on my Clonchnang and see if I can get it through the repeater. I tried it simplex before and it's worked. So again, Scotty 1 when the repeater drops, I'll monitor with the second handheld and make sure it's working.
Michael, it came through okay. I'm not sure where. I think it's just a series of text. You know, it says CQ, SSTV, DEF, KF8, DQS, and it looks like it kind of cut off at the bottom a little bit.
I couldn't get a good copy on it with my app with the acoustic coupling again, but I was playing around with another handheld and I was a little distracted, so I wasn't sure how great I was making it into the repeater. It has a side tone, I guess you can call it, through the handheld that was transmitting.
No, I think the letters are a little quivery. Maybe the sync pulse is, well, I don't know there, come to think of it. I mean, the letters are clear. There's no static. It's right after where it says hello via SSTV. Then there's a line under that, a red line. And then is when we started to get Morse code after that. and then it just stopped, like only, like we're missing the bottom half, or bottom, probably 1/4 of the image didn't come through, or maybe it's like that.
I think that's correct. It's there's a CQ option in the menu that I can do, and there's a couple of menu options where I can enter some custom text, and then there's another option to send the signal report back, I believe, and then there's a third option to just send a screenshot of the screen after like 10 seconds.
Okay, now, did you generate this image on the fly, or is it a like a JPEG or a BMP that you loaded up and sent?
I guess technically it's on the fly. I just entered my call sign into the menu and other relevant information, and it just has a certain order it puts things in, and then it just is able to send it.
Okay, well, it seemed to work. CQSSTV, upper left, DE, KFA, DQS, hello via SSTV, and that was the text. So it seemed to work. WDA PVS, Charles, a comment. How'd you get the image?
Image is very clear, and just like you, the bottom line is SSTV with a red line, and then after that it cut out, but very clear image.
W8BCI repeater.
Okay, NT0YJ, a comment.
NT0Y. So yeah, obviously, the reason this is cool is because it's an HT sending a slow scan TEV image, not connected to a computer and not with acoustic coupling. It's sending this all from a custom firmware that you can load onto a $20 Chinese radio, and it'll just send it. And now I'm curious to see what else it can do. There's the basics, right? So essentially, you know, a perfect rendition of a slow scan TV image. It's not the right length for Scotty 1. I'm not sure why it would have cut it off there, but it being a custom firmware job on a cheap HT, I think that what it did do is pretty neat, and now I'm wondering what else it can do, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research.
Now that I get what you're doing, Michael. Wow, okay, I see it. W8RQS, Steve, a comment.
Got one question. At the bottom it says SSTV. Is it possible that that's the end of the image?
I think after that red line is the mechanism that sends your call sign out in code that a lot of these images sometimes have. I know MMSSTV can be configured to send your call sign via Morse code at the end of the image, and I think that's what it's trying to do.
Good. Well, the call, the Morse part of it was quite interesting to me because I've got MMSSTV sitting on top of Audacity with some VU meters off to the side, and it came right up across the screen at the top. You could to see the dots and the dashes, and at the very end it went dot dot dot, and I went, that's an S, and then I thought it was like my call sign, so I looked down and his call sign ends in S, just like mine. But it was cool to see the Morse code coming out because you could actually see it, not just listen to it. W8RQS, back to the net.
That's crazy. My MMSSTV just said no call. So it either couldn't decode it or it wasn't at the end of the image where it expected it to be. I'm not sure which. We'll figure that out. KF8 APM, Jason, a comment.
Yeah, this was definitely a unique image. Colors are very bright and vibrant, that's for sure. But yeah, it seemed kind of that squirrely little look to it, and about halfway down it stops. But no, the message came through real clear, and everything else looks really nice. So it's always fun doing something, learning something a little bit new. KF8 APM, back to that.
Like Jay, I'm intrigued. This is the first time I've seen a auto-generated image. It's got a lot of possibilities there. AB8HK, David, a comment.
Look what everybody else got the same image, came through great. And that is the neat thing about amateur radio. You can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want it. So back to net, AB8HK.
There's just, radio is so fun. There's just I don't think you could ever know all about, the hobby, understand everything there is, because everything, every time I turn around, it seems like there's something new that I hadn't even experienced that somebody's doing, It's phenomenal. Good work, Michael. You got us all intrigued here. We're anxious to see what else comes out of that rig. So we'll put this at the end of the list. I've got a picture here for all of you that I took from the porch of our house here, probably actually a few weeks ago. I was looking through some of my images trying to figure out what to send, and I came across this sunset picture that I thought was really pretty. And again, this is just taken from the front porch of my house in the neighborhood of the sunset. And we'll do PD 120. Okay, there you have it. WD8 PVS. Charles, a comment.
perfect. And boy, it's a pretty picture you took with the different colors with the red sky and the clouds in front of it. Really neat.
It is. I was pretty surprised when I saw that off the porch. I thought, boy, I got to get a picture of this. NT0YJ, a comment.
NT0Y. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I love sunrises and sunsets that look like that. And the color is so not what you're used to seeing in a picture. And it's so vibrant that, you know, if somebody was having a hard time sending an image, maybe acoustic coupling or something like that, you know how the colors don't end up being what they're supposed to be. I can see how someone would go, are you sure that, let's talk about how you sent that. But it's just that vibrant of a picture with that kind of color.
WHBCI repeater.
It is, and it's pretty close representation to what it actually looked like too. So I was amazed at some of those colors that you can get in the sky. W8RQS, Steve, a comment.
Rick, you must have a perfect view to the west for sunsets. I've got some trees in the back, around the pole barn and stuff, so if I walk just a little further back, I get a clear shot to the west. But I don't always put the effort into going out and getting a sunset picture. So kudos for you, Rick. Very nice image, W8RQS.
Thanks. I'm the same way. It's not always that I have a camera handy, you know, to take something like that when I see it. KF8APM, Jason, a comment.
KF8APM. Yeah, great image, Rick. It really, it must be the sun right there in the bottom, kind of leftish, a little bit left from center. But it just looks a little bit brighter right there. It almost looks like the sky is on fire right there. But that's a cool image. Cool image. Really neat looking. I like it. I can't believe how bright that orange is and stuff. It's wild. Must have been neat to see in person. KF8APM, back to that.
I had to get my camera quick because it didn't last very long. The colors faded pretty quickly. KF8DQS, Michael, a comment.
Really beautiful picture. Came in great.
Oh, the other one?
No more comments. KF8DQS, talking with my dad.
No problem. AB8HK, David, a comment.
Beautiful image, came in clear. And like they say, red sky at night, sailor delight. Back to that, this is AB8HK.
Sky and morning, sailors take warning. I've ran into that a couple times. It's not too far off, but yeah. Okay, so it's time for our bonus round, and what I'll do is I'll walk the list and state your call sign, and you can comment on the picture you're about to send if you wish, or just send a picture, and we'll walk right down the list. And to give you a chance to find an image, I'll be the first one to send it out. This is my cat looking right into the camera. His name is Riley. He's a little rascal. He usually lays in front of my window here while I'm conducting the net. So this time he's actually not messing with the knobs. So here it is, and this will be Scotty 2.
A8LMF.
WA8LMF. That sounds like Steven. How you doing?
Holding out here against the cold and grounded at the moment. My car's in the shop, so I've been stuck here at home for a week.
Hey, stuck in your shack with radios. I can think of a worse place to be.
Anyway, at the end, I have a picture here. I had a sunset shot almost identical to the one that was just sent that I took about 3 weeks ago out of the living room picture window. But the one I've got is the opposite time. It's at midnight. So later I'll show it.
And Stephen, we'll let you send an image, and then we're going to go right into the bonus round, and you can send another one then. So go ahead with your image.
Okay, this was shot about 2 weeks ago at the night of the full moon, when it was one of the few nights it wasn't cloudy, brilliantly bright, and the moon was lighting up the snow in my backyard, and I was getting shadows on it from tree branches up above. With the leaves off, you see just the branch outlines on the snow, and it was just brilliantly bright. Anyway, this was shot with a iPhone 14 at 1 a.m. That is an hour after midnight, just by the moonlight. Here we go, WA8LMF PD120. A8LMF.
Hey, Stephen, that is a awesome picture. It's so melancholy with the shadow of the trees there. Until it got down to the snow, I was thinking it was really dim, but I see exactly how that reflection came off. Man, what a remarkable image.
My window looks out to the southwest. If I was standing outside, out there in the yard, the moon would have been over my left shoulder behind me. So it was coming from the left and back. And I'm looking forward. You're seeing the city lights of the glow in the horizon at the top is the city lights of Meridian Township and East Lansing in the distance.
WHBCI repeater.
Boy, that would make, I was thinking that would make a great picture to hang on a wall here for just artistic purposes, because the shadow of those branches is really, really neat.
Waiting a couple of months to get this picture because I needed it to be the night of the full moon and not be overcast in order to get it. And I had been ready to shoot this thing for the last 2.5 months, and it finally cooperated. I had been down in Kalamazoo at my sister's farm and got back about 11 at night, and the moonlight was out brilliantly, and the snow was on the ground, not yet melted. So this was finally the opportunity I had been waiting for.
Got it. No, picture well worth waiting for, definitely. Okay, we're going into the bonus round here. This is my cat, Riley, staring into the camera, and I'll send this Scotty too. UD8 PVS, your turn for an image.
The image is a little distorted the way I transferred it over, but this is from the Webb telescope of Neptune, and when I look at Neptune from my telescope, all I see is a little tiny, tiny blue dot, but here's what the Webb sees it as.
That looks like cotton candy. What a beautiful image. NT0YJ, your turn for an image.
This is a massively distorted image because I didn't really take the time to actually bring it into an image editor and cut it down. So this is what happens after every contest that MSU participates in, and they just get a boatload of mail. And this last round, I took them home and wrote them all out and sent them. There were about 8 of them from the school club roundup. PD 50.
Not too bad, Jay. That's definitely some mail. W8RQS. Steve, your turn for an image. Merry Christmas to you also. KF8, 8 p.m. Jason, your turn for an image.
All right, we'll do something a little different. We'll do, I was going to do PD50, but we'll do SC260. It's a picture of Lisa and I from this weekend.
W8BCI repeater.
got KFA DQS. Michael, your turn for an image.
I've set it to Martin 1 because it has two options that it lets me pick from, so I'm trying the other one, and I've turned off the CW identification to see if that makes any difference. I think it malforms the image either intentionally or unintentionally because of the amount of memory that this handheld has, so I guess that might be why that happens. So I'll be sending a screenshot. It takes like maybe 10 seconds to do, so we'll see how it works.
Michael, I got two frequency displays of the input and the offset from the repeater. It says DEKFA DQS. Got it just fine. Red, blue, and green text. So, hey, you're getting there. Pretty cool. David, AB8HK, your turn for an image.
Software's not cooperating, so we're going to have to skip this one. AB8HK.
Hold the feeling, David. Stephen, WA8LMF, your turn for an image.
This is WA8LMF, and this is another moonlight shot. This was taken the same night, but this is at my farm, at my sister's farm in Kalamazoo. This is about 3 hours after sunset, around 8 p.m., just before I left to drive home here to Hazlitt. And this is looking east. Again, the moon is off to your left in this shot. I'm looking due east out of the second floor of her house in this shot over some of her fields. WA8LMF PD120.
Yeah, I like that one, Stephen. It's right at the dusk, between the light and the dark. I love those colors and shadows in there. Man, great picture. Well, gang, I think it's time to wrap it up here. I can see the clock on the wall. Minky's hands are pointing to later in the evening. So with that, I'll walk through, and we'll make this the 7-3 round. WD8PVS, Charles, 7-3 round.
Rick, for doing a job, wonderful job as usual. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and be safe out there, and we'll hopefully talk to you in a week. WD8PVS.
Charles, you take care. Thanks for joining us tonight, and stay safe and try to stay warm. Jay, NT0Y, 7-3 round.
Yeah, NT0Y to the group. Yeah, great net tonight. And yep, it's very easy to stretch this net past 10 o'clock when you get more than 3 or 4 people involved, and I'm here for it. I love the net, and I love seeing everybody's pictures and all the different ways to send them. I think that's probably the first time I've gotten an SC260 image, and it looked pretty comparable and maybe slightly sharper than like a Scotty 2. Not bad at all. I'll have to keep that one in mind, and I'm definitely going to look up if the custom firmware on a Quancheng HT can actually send images. And actually, maybe I'll show, if anybody wants to stay on I'll show you something that QSS TV can do. I don't know if MMSS TV can do this, but you can actually send text in somebody's waterfall. Not sure if that's something you can do with MMSS TV or not, but everybody have a great night, a great holiday season, and hope to hear from you soon. I'm sure I will. NT0Y, back to net control.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight here, and you're always a wealth of information. I have seen that text in the waterfall, the radiogram that I get on shortwave on Wednesday mornings has that, and it's pretty cool. They send a little thing of the earth and a greetings from shortwave, and it is amazing. I've seen that when you and I were experimenting with that too. It's crazy stuff. Thanks again, and you stay safe, and have a Merry Christmas, and extend that to your family too. And you too, Charles, by the way, Merry Christmas to you. W8RQS, Steve, 7-3 round.
Thanks for doing the net tonight, Rick. We really love the net, and I'll just say 73 to all, and Merry Christmas from my wife and myself and number 44, our beloved Emu. 73 to all, and we'll look for you on another Sunday night.
Merry Christmas to you too, Steve, and thanks for joining us here tonight. And stay safe and stay warm. You take care. Jason, KF8 APM, 7-3 round.
KF8 APM. Great job tonight, Rick. Thank you for running a wonderful net. Thanks to everybody for all the wonderful images. Thanks to the repeater for holding out until just recently. It sounds like it's getting a little scratchy again, but it held out for all the pictures, so that's what matters. And yes, Merry Christmas to all from us to you guys, and hopefully everybody has a wonderful, healthy, and happy holiday season here. So hopefully I can make it back for next Sunday. We'll see. I may or may not be able to make it. So if not, I'll catch another one. And I'll say 73.
Jason, Merry Christmas to you too, and your family. And you stay safe, warm, and thanks for joining us tonight. Hope to see you again. KF8 DQS, Michael, 7-3 round.
KF8 DQS, happy holidays to all from you guys. Have a great New Year. Enjoy that also. And it's always fun to play around with SSTV, one of the great fun modes to play around with on 2 meters. Yeah, I think that's everything. 73 all. KFA DQS out.
So thanks for joining us tonight, and Merry Christmas to you. And you have entertained all of us tonight with a new mode that I have never seen before, with the auto-generated picture. So I'm sure we're about to put that on our list, and that's one more thing to try. So take care, stay safe, and stay warm. We'll catch you later. David, AB8, HK, 7-3 round.
A great night as always, and we'll say Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. ABHK, back to that.
So on that one, Merry Christmas, David, and thanks for sticking with us tonight. You stay safe, stay warm, and have a good holiday season. We'll catch you hopefully next Sunday. Stephen, WA8, LMF, 7-3 round.
This is WA8LMF. I might comment that last picture I sent, that's not dusk. This is well after sunset, 3 hours after sunset, around 8 or 8:30 in the evening on the 4th of this month. What you're seeing in the distance is the City Lights sky glow from Battle Creek, and the snow in the foreground, or the mid-distance, is being lit up by moonlight. But it's definitely well after sunset. And I might comment on the image generated by the handheld. I don't see how you could send a real picture, a photo with that, unless the handheld has a camera in it. It would require some kind of serial connection to transfer an image into it from an external source, which I doubt it would do in a low-end handheld like that. So I think essentially you're being limited to what amounts to fax or text messaging in color, essentially. Anyway, that's it. This is WA8LMF.
Stephen, thanks for being with us here tonight. Appreciate it. Hope your car feels better quickly there. And you have a safe and Merry Christmas, too. And so hopefully we'll catch you next week. At this time, I'd like to thank all of you who took part in tonight's Central Michigan Slow Scan TV Net and invite all of you back for next week's session. We would also like to thank the Lansing Civil Defense Repeater Association for their support and maintenance of this and the other Lansing area repeaters. I will now return this repeater to normal amateur radio use. This is Rick, KC8LOQ, signing clear, 7-3, and catch you down the log.
NT0Y, trying out this waterfall text gimmick real quick. Let's see what happens.
Waterfall are we supposed to see that in? Now, the so-called digital SSTV, EasyPal, does that as a matter of course, and it works pretty well. But here, I just, looking at the waterfall in the waveform monitor of MMSSTV, it was just a solid white mass.
Hey, I lost my COM port temporarily. It's back now, so I didn't receive anything.
Okay, yeah, I think Steven's right. That might have been That did not sound like an analog thing. That sounded to me almost like digital radio mondial, however that's pronounced. Let me try one other thing here. But yeah, that waterfall text functioning QSS TV really did not sound like I was expecting it to. Hang on one second here. I'm going to try one more thing. Okay, so it did work. It's not very good, but it did work. So there is a waterfall on QSS TV if you're on the receive tab of QSS TV, and it does work in that, but may not be compatible with how MMSS TV is rendering its waterfall. I have noticed people doing this over in on HF, because I'll see it come through on the waterfall in HF.
W.
That may be what's going on there. People may be using QSS TV for that.
Okay, I'm bringing up QSS TV right now.
Monitoring here with two waterfall applications. I was running both MMSS TV and got it started just in time when you made the second transmission. I also had FL Digi running to see if any kind of pattern would appear in its waterfall, which has considerably more dynamic range than the one in MMSS TV. And there, what I was seeing was essentially something that looked like a barcode, vertical stripes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it's the rate of the waterfall that you would have to change it. The rate of the waterfall isn't exactly what QSS TV is expecting, and I don't know what the rate would have to be for it to create the text it thinks it's creating. I'm sure it would have to be dead on.
One more time, Jay. I've got QSS TV running.
Okay, I'm going to make two transmissions. The first one with the statement I'm making, and the second one that says it's from me.
I got it, but I only got PPYHOLIDA. It got truncated, and then it says from NT0Y.
Well, alrighty. Send me one back. Hit that WF text button at the bottom, and obviously there's a character limitation, but it doesn't tell you what it is. It just lets you keep typing, which is a little counterintuitive, but hey, go ahead.
Stand by. Anything?
That was too quiet on my end. I'll turn up my input volume for it, but yeah, I don't know if QSS TV has a gain setting that's down a little bit from what your MMSS TV is.
Let me try it again, see if this is better.
Okay, that's great. Steven, did you get that one?
I've got 3 apps running here in parallel using the same sound card, MMSS TV, FL-Digi, and EasyPal, the digital, so-called digital SSTV. And on the EasyPal waterfall, it actually appeared. It worked. It has more dynamic range, I think, than the other 2 programs, and it did work successfully in the EasyPal waterfall.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me that EasyPal is the one that worked, since these QSS TV, a lot of the digital modes and things like that did come from EasyPal that are contained within QSS TV. So I'm not surprised at that one. It's got the dynamic range would be one thing, but I would think the other thing would be the rate of the waterfall, because the rate of the transmission would have to match the rate of the waterfall that you're using, or else it would just get all jumbled up. But that is pretty darn neat. I mean, you want to talk about a fast way to get a line of text across to somebody. I mean, what? You transmitted that, Rick, in, I don't know, less than 2 seconds?
It was pretty quick, and then I took a brief pause and did the second line, because I entered 2 lines there. So yeah, probably at 2 seconds is pretty accurate.
Well, neat. Okay. Well, another tool in the toolbox, as they say, although I don't know what the heck I'd actually use it for, but it's it's a cool idea, because what are the chances that somebody just completely offhand is going to have EasyPal or QSS TV open? Probably about 0. So anyway, I know it's already late, but my curiosity got the best of me, so I'll say 73 to both of you. NT0Y.
There's an option, Jay, under File that says Save Waterfall Image. I just saw that, and I could have sent you a picture back.
Save waterfall image. As in, you send me an image, and then I go up to File, and then I save waterfall image, and maybe it saves JPEG or something like that. I assume that's what that's doing.
I don't know. I just noticed a Save Waterfall Image, whatever that means. Let's see if I hit it. I'll go into the gallery. Let's see if it showed up in the gallery. No, I don't see it there. So I don't know where it would save the image. But any rate, yeah, enough for this evening, I guess. Stephen, WA8, LMF, and J, NT0Y. We'll see you guys. I'm getting tired. So Merry Christmas, and you take care. This is KC8LOQ.
73 to both of you from NT0Y.
This is the WHBCI repeater PL100 Hertz. This is the WHBCI repeater PL100.